In the words of Harry Kane, let's go! We're into episode number 2 now of this Schalke save, and I am very pumped for this one. I'm going to sign more players, hopefully. We've got more games than there was in the first one, and of course I must thank you guys for all the support on episode number 1, even though I've not seen what support it is yet. I'm uploading this before I've uploaded episode number 1. It's weird, I know, but welcome back to season number 1, episode 2, like I just said, of this FC Schalke 04 career mode here on FIFA 22. Of course, it's me, Max, or you might be calling me Judas if you're a supporter of BVB. As today, before we get into this one, of course I usually say in videos, apart from the last one, do not forget to subscribe. At the time of recording, we are very close to 6k. Or we may be past that. If we are past it, thank you so much. If we are close to it, thank you for the support that's got us there. And whilst you're there, drop a like, drop the notification bell a click so you know when the next upload is coming out, as you should have seen that one, because we've got spoilers to go. As you can see, we drew our first game of the season to Cologne. It was a very decent result. I will take it. A youngster getting the first goal in my reign as manager, as today we start off with Wolfsburg, Bayern Munich, who, to be fair, I'm thinking of simulating. And I'll tell you the reason why in a second, because we have deadline day after that. We have VfL Bochum, if we get onto that, and Werder Bremen, which we might not get onto, if I'm honest. But the reason I might not play Bayern, I don't want to play them too many times in a season. We play them in the DFB Pokal, the Cup, of course. And, yeah, I want to spread out who I play this season, and if we're going to lose to Bayern, I'd rather lose in a simulated game, because then we can play the games that, let's be honest, are going to be in and around us near that relegation zone. It's a scrappy season number 1. With the team that we have, I expect us to be scrapping near the bottom. Of course, that's not a given, of course. We'll push on. We've got a point in our first game. As 3 players that I've put on the loan list right here. I want to start offloading some players as well as getting them in, because of course we've got the objective this season of reducing player wages by 57k a week in order to help the finances. And you know me, I don't like selling players straight up, but we've got these 2 midfielders, Ladza and of course Palsson, who are on high wages. We've got Flick, who's on a lot lower, who could grow to be their rating almost immediately. We've got Kaminsky and Lode, who aren't my favourite centre-backs at the club, who are on higher wages than the other ones. We've got players out on loan, of course, and players in on loan, who we could maybe get rid of. Drexler is a player that I'm not entirely sure on using, so maybe we can get rid of some today. Would do us a favour in terms of money, as we've got a loan offer from Bournemouth for Tony Schwartz. That is immediately rejected. He is not on the loan list. And in fact, I may just go to this list right here and block all offers, because he was very special in that first game and probably in the team for this next one against Wolfsburg, which we might get straight into. And going into this first game, another offer. Henning Matriani, I don't know how you pronounce that, and I don't know how you pronounce the team, from the Super League in Turkey, I know that for sure. But Henning, look at his receding hairline. He's only 21-year-old, bless him. As we're going to delegate this, we will... Actually, we'll keep it as the loan to buy. I see no issue with that, to be fair. It's not in my immediate plans, and if it doesn't work out, of course, he can come back and maybe try and grow into him, as we're at home. Our first home game at the Veltins Arena against Wolfsburg in 14th. I'm pretty sure I know what changes I'm making for this next game. Wijan, the lone player, should I say, coming out. We're going to put Lee Dong-kyung on the bench. He's been asking to be in and around the squad, even though he's just in ahead of other players such as Drexler. Wherever Drexler is, he's right at the bottom. He wants to play a lot, so he's going to have to try and step it up to get in my plans, as this is the team. Freisel, Maxdo, Itakura and Tiao. I'm trying to pronounce this. Is it Tiao or Thiao? I don't know. Theo? I don't know. Zalazar's on the wing. Palsson, Ladza and Sanchez. Schwartz behind Terrell and Butler up front. It's our strongest team. Of course, our youngster coming in after his goal. Why not? And let's see what we can do against VfL Wolfsburg. And I absolutely love, of course, the stadium, the big scoreboard in the middle. Veltins Arena, of course, a very known one around Europe from its time in Europa Leagues and Champions Leagues, with Castilian net against us. I'm going to wait until it all goes round to see the lineups. Jonas Wind up front, on Nemecha in front of him. They've got Martinez, Bornau and Brooks at the back. Baku, Schlager, Arnold and Paulo Otavio on the wing. Jonas Wind, Maxi Cruz and Lucas Nemecha up front. It's a decent team and a bit of a kit clash right here as I never mentioned the training drills that I put my players on. They are all defensively on ball playing centre-backs. I want my three at the back to be good passers. I've done squad numbers this season, so Sanchez, the new signing, has gone to number 15 and Maxdo is number 6 at the back. As they're trying to put a little bit of a press on us right here. They're 3 at the back as well, so maybe we could get past that. As Latzler with a great turn right there. Tony Schwartz, he's our fastest player, I think, with 84 pace. It's not much, but it'll have to do as Paulo Otavio trying to run past us. Maxdo reading that one. Palsson just to pass it forward straight onto Terrell, who fails to hold that one up. And Bornau across the midfield. Javier Schlager is a player always signed by Arsenal on career mode. That's a brilliant ball over the top. Otavio puts it in. Latzler to Kalia, should I say, not Korea, as Terrell with his tap down. What can Terrell do here? The beast of a man. Can he just play that back? And we'll go again. Struggling to get out of the defence a bit as, oh, that's a bad pass. And Lucas Nemecha has scored the opening goal. Wolfsburg take the lead and it's our own mistake at the back. It is very dodgy. Very, very dodgy. And the ex-Manchester City youngster is the one to fire it in the goal past Freisel. It's a bad start for our home fans. Look at that. It's a wayward one from, I'm thinking, Balsler. It's not Thiau, is it? It's, it's Palsson. I could just see the name on the back of the shirt. Greatest possible start. In a season full of scraps, I am, of course, anticipating. That is just not how we want to start, as Zalazar's lost the ball as well. What are you playing at? Maxi Cruz on it. They have got a decent team, saying all this slander about ourselves. They're going to be good. As Stephen Arnold through the middle. I think it's Stephen Arnold or Maximilian Arnold. I don't know. As Palsson to pass it away. He's got redemption arc to do now as Terrell looks out wide for Anthony Sanchez running down this wing. What can he do? Cuts inside. Can he whip it in with his weaker foot? He does, but not great. Leaves us with a bit of a rebuilding as Schleiger looking over the top. Almost half an hour in. And Baku with a decent ball whipped in. Itakura had to do well. Fizzed across goal. Nemecha keeps it. And Freisel rushes out in time to just stop that from being a second. It is not the greatest of starts from us at home, granted, but it's not going to be the easiest, as that's a rough challenge. Getting booked. Need to try and step out of our half a little bit as Tony Schwartz looks wide. Here we go. Bootler into Schwartz again. He's got a gap. Terrell's in front of him. Schwartz goes himself. Oh, and what a goal from the youngster. 58 shooting, by the way. And half an hour in, we are level. Our first shot of the game. The absolute twinkle toes of Tony Schwartz. This could be a youngster, honestly, better than anyone we've ever had in a career mode before. We had Terrell through the middle. I was scared he was offside, which it looks like he was. I took the shot on myself with Tony Schwartz. Crossbarring in. Beats Castiles. 1-1. Paulo Otavio into Arnold right here as they look to try and regain their lead. De Wolfsburg, I'm just very impressed with that manner of goal as Baku into the middle. Arnold, the captain, onto Jonas Wind. It's the block of the thigh of, I think it was Majdo, as Bootler gets his header over into Terrell. And I see Schwartz making a run. He wants to be everywhere. We'll chip that over the top, looking for our man. It hits Bono's shoulder. It might fall to us, and oh! Just wide from Bootler. That was unlucky as Castiles passes it forward into Javier Schlager. Now Arnold through into Nemecha. We need to just stand as men up as that's gone through the middle into Jonas Wind. Get the pressure on, please. It's gone out wide into Baku, who's got pace to try and run around us. Passes it in. Palsson with an easy block. He has got to step his game up. He's not at the best of halves as that is half time. 1-1 with Wolfsburg, of course. An exceptional team in this league. I think we're doing okay for ourselves. I've got to say something. 28-year-old Bootler up front. I'm actually impressed by his performance. I think he did get the assist for Schwartz. Granted, Schwartz did most of it himself, but very, very decent from him. So hopefully more of the second, how we finish the first, as Terraud tries to get that pass off to Anthony Sanchez. Not as involved in this game as he'd probably want to be, but he cuts inside. He's got men at the edge. Tony Schwartz is through, and he's put it in the bottom corner. We lead at home in our first game back in this league, and it is Tony Schwartz with a brace. The youngster, the unlucky number 13, unlucky number. What a player. It's another one for him, and he has 3 already in 2 games. How is this guy even real? How is he playing like this and shooting like this with the poor shooting he has? What a prospect. He may be leading us to our first 3 points back in this division since the relegation, and against a very good team here as Waldschmidt off the bench into Max Cruz, and oh, I'm getting ahead of myself because that was decent from Cruz. Very unlucky not to score as Thiaw. I could see he overtouched that. It's a mistake from us again. And he's offside, is Jonas Vind. Oh, what a finish it was as well by him. An amazing clip in as we're just making a couple of errors at the back, and we've signed crucial defenders, so shouldn't be happening. As let's not ignore that turn that he just made as Terraud is through. Oh, it's Bootler actually who's making the runs. Own to Tony Schwartz. We're on side with Zalazar as we're going to try and pass that back in the middle. Schwartz will more onto Palsson. Tries his luck. I'm going to go ahead and try and make 2 changes, which is a right wing back on for Sanchez in Aydin. And we're going to try and get Flick on in the midfield for Ladza. Give up the captain for a defensive player as Palsson doing his defensive duties but still robbed of it. And they have the ball back. Kevin Campbell now. That's a decent signing for them. If it is Kevin Campbell, as that's a pass out wide, we've got to try and budge across this 3 at the back as that's dodgy. We've got away with it as Zalazar, as I thought that might have been a penalty. Bootler with a great header. Schwartz can't keep it in. Tad unlucky as now Schleiger onto Cruz. He goes backwards. It's Martinez through the middle. Javier Schleiger again. Cruz just watching the runs as that's a good tackle. Flick tries to get his pass off. Not too great as Schleiger gets it back again. And Baku doing the running. Jeremy Baku into Maxi Cruz again. Schwarz with a tackle. He has been everywhere. And Bootler, Terraud, if he's got any pace at all, he's run onto it, but he's offside. And Palisson with a pass right there into Itakura. He doesn't mess up his pass at the back. Flick's touch is heavy though. Not great from the youngster off the bench as Waldschmidt with pass trying to go through, but we've got there to block it again. Zalazar onto Palsson. We've got the run of Aydin going forward. Good from a wing back, but when we're attacking, he should be running like this. Terraud in the middle. Can the striker get a goal? He leaps for the header, and it falls to Zalazar, who should be able to shoot on the edge of the number 10. Stings the gloves of Castile, and it was decent. 10 minutes to go now. I'm not going to take Tony Schwartz off at all. I'm going to keep going with him as we're going to whip in a ball. I'm going to try and not control players from corners as much because I think it is a cheat code to scoring, as we've got to leap with the players we've got. As Maestro was very close, but Castile's with another save. Can we hold on for 3 points or maybe get another? That's towards Terraud and cleared. Very close as Freisel passes it out from the back. Maestro over the top. That is brilliant passing from the centre-backs to one another. Palsson, I'm enjoying this formation. Might stay unbeaten with it. And this would be a big win if we could redeem itself here. And what a cross that is into Flick. We have surely won the game right now. The defensive midfielder with a brilliant diving header and a brilliant run in the middle. Zalazar, we cannot ignore the cross. We are going to beat Wolfsburg in our first home game at the Veltins Arena as it erupts. What a ball it was. Flying number 17, and Castile's no chance. Up the Schalke. What a goal that is. Oh, Flick, that was absolutely phenomenal. As they're going to take their kick-off, and there shouldn't be long left. And I talked about redeeming. That's because I was just focused on the game that much. I was just thinking about the defence redeeming themselves for the early mistake. If we wouldn't have made that, we would have been 3-0 up here against Wolfsburg. How amazing would that be? As Waldschmidt into Jonas Vind. Tries to put it around Palisson. We've got a little bit of a block, and Campbell trying to get at us. It's Maxi Cruz. Thiaw with a block. Majsto just clears straight away. I'm waiting for the final whistle as it's blown. And what a win it is. 3 goals at home. We was 1-0 down. And we managed to beat a big club in our first season back. Of course, we're a big club as it stands as well. We don't have the players really showing that. But the try to in that game, 3 goals, 3 points in our bid for survival. Very good as straight away a loan offer from Dusseldorf, a couple of divisions below, of course, for Yaroslav, what's his name? Mikhailovic. I don't want to have this buyback clause on him. I just want to get him on a loan deal. Looks like he could have potential. And we continue on our scouting journey. His 3rd position after 2 games. Didn't expect it, and a lot of reports coming back here. Like I said, I do want to get some players out before we, of course, get some in. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Of course, I'm not going to pass on signing someone just because we haven't got someone else to replace them, as we will let him go on a 1-year deal. That is perfect. Currently, I have 3 players that I'm looking at on the shortlist. As I did say I was going to simulate Bayern Munich. With how close we are to them, I still feel like it's got to be done, as we've got players on international duty. Loder, Pelson and Freisel for Austria. Very nice. But I am going to simulate it. I don't want to just be playing Bayern Munich every single episode. So, if you guys came to see that, I apologise, but yeah, we're going to go for the risky change, as we've made a couple of changes in this team. We've got Flick and Aydin starting. Good when they came off the bench. Zalazar was good on that left-hand side, and Schwartz is still doing the business. So that is the team. Change the bench up a little bit so we can get players coming on, building fitness and sharpness up for them players that aren't as involved, and of course, keeping them happy and their parent clubs happy, because we've got a lot who are on loan at us. As imagine if we win in a simulated game at Bayern Munich. That would be extravagant, but we extravagantly get beaten 6-2. Right, I didn't expect that. Terrell sent off within the 5th minute. That'll explain why. Lewandowski and Butler grabbed one back to put us level. But then in the second half, all hell broke loose. Lewandowski, Coman, Cuadrado. Cuadrado with a brace from right back. Butler got a brace for himself. But Müller put the nail in the coffin. Absolutely hammered by Bayern. Just going to keep moving on as Yaroslav Mikhailov has been loaned out, and Terrell is going to serve his suspension. He hasn't been as good as he probably is in real life at the moment, because I know he did play a big part in the promotion, but yeah, not seen the best out of him so far. And just like that, can we get anything done on deadline day, which we're on now, as the team is, of course, still in recovery. I do want to play Bolchum today, or Bochum, VFL, whatever you want to call them, as the team at the moment. This is how I want it to be. I want 3 players of reserves, so we've got the amount of players I want, but have we necessarily got the quality? I mean, they're proving to do the business at the moment, but I think players have got to go out, definitely, before we get some in, as Copenhagen wanting Henning Machani on loan. We'll delegate that and let it go through, and as you can see in the top corner, we have 40 players at the club. That's what I want it to stay on. 40 is a good number, even though it's quite a lot as well, but that's including loan players. 6 attackers. You can see we haven't got many of those, and with Terrell getting suspended, it's going to be Butler and one of the loan boys. Not many at all. How's our money spend looking compared to other teams? Everyone's got roughly the same, 102 by the rivals, 23 there by Augsburg. We've spent 8.1. And we've lost a player without money, of course. He was involved in the swap deal, so I don't think it's necessarily too bad. It's the 2 positions we needed, as we've got a deal right here. We're going to accept that. Hopefully it goes through. So we'll keep on simming. Is this an offering for one of our players? No. It is Matriacini actually going out, so maybe we could bring in another player right here. I just do want an attacker. And I'm thinking who? Maybe a youngster. We have got a youngster in Trakwinski, who I don't want playing, and I've definitely butchered the name of. But yeah, I mean, I'm not overly satisfied with the squad, but I can't find an immediate player to buy. As it's safe to say, I'm definitely not hitting the target of making 30 million profit, and I'm going to struggle to do the wage thing, but unless a big bid comes in for one of us players, we are not going to succeed. And also, if you guys have suggested any players down below in the comments of the first video, like I did say, I'm uploading this video before the episode number 1 has been published, so I don't get to see those comments. Of course, we'll definitely take them into the next window. We did get an offer just after the bell for Malik Diaw from Bournemouth. Don't see that as really realistic at all, to be fair. German player at Bournemouth. Have they had any German players in their history? I'm not too sure. So we've got youth players coming through. Milo Schreiber will promote. Marcus Kuhn looks a bit low on potential, and Torsten Kaus will just stick in as we keep on charging forward. That defeat to Bayern Munich dropped us to 10th in the division. Level on points with VfL Bochum, who we play next. And of course, they have the better goal difference, it seems. I'm pretty sure we're away from home, and I'm trying to settle on a team for it. And this is how our squad looks going into this Bochum game. We have one less player than I'd want, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Turau is on the red card, and I think this is a strong bench. Strong enough. Anyway, Lee Dong-kyung could come in for Drexler, but Drexler's a permanent player, so I'm going to start him, of course, on that bench. As there is a couple of changes. Yeah, Cherlinov up front. We've got Sanchez back in the team and Latzler. They go straight back in. Same back three of the usual suspects. Schwartz is in there. Pallison, Zalazar. We had Lode asked to play on the bench, the centre-back, but of course he's not going to thread through. I want to trust them three at the back as Bochum away. On paper, should actually be a win because their squad is kind of similar to ours, but they are more experienced in this division and they know how to grind out a result. And let's have a look at this team that they have on match day 4. Don't know why that switching menu's up in the top corner, but we'll let it slide as I don't recognise many of these players. They've got Raymond in goal, Bockhorn, Lamprolulus, Leipzig, Danilo, Losilia, Pantovic, Rekabaj, Loven, Holtman and Zoller, I think it was up front. Difficult names. I have to trust the names that I've got out on the field right now. Latzler with a pass, or Latzer. I keep wanting to put an L in there for some reason. It makes it easier to say. As Sanchez has it out on the wing. Machado, don't be overlapping. You can't afford to us. That's a brilliant turn from Sanchez into Cherlinov, this new striker, dropping back. Of course, in for the suspended Turau as Sanchez drops it back into Latzer. Now into Cherlinov. Get forward a little bit, mate, as Pallison. A little bit panicked in the middle, but he can just drop that off into Tony Schwartz. Going for one. Not bad. He is not afraid to get a shot off as Zalazar gets the throw in straight into him. Bootler, we need to get that run down the wing, please. Zalazar, get running. Get in front of Bockhorn, as I think he has handled it. Yes, he has. It's our free kick. And can we... No, we don't really want to shoot with this one. Can we just go short if they don't run onto it? There we go. Put that down the line for Schwartz. Cross that, left-footed. Hits Pantovic, but it'll fall back to us. Zalazar, that's a decent delivery. Didn't jump high enough. Not too bad as Max Show had to stop the counter press. And he's picked up a yellow card for his worries as Losila through to Leuven. Now through the middle onto the complicated name as Zola puts it down the wing onto Pantkovic. Gotta watch him closely, Zalazar. Just keep on pushing him out. That's good. Schwartz dropping onto this wing for some reason as he's got the cross in. Maxdo needs to leap and does. Pallison doesn't clear convincingly, but Zatzler on the overlap. Cherlinov clipped, but we'll get it down the line as it's on to Sanchez now. Cuts inside. Not a great pass. Do feel like if we play this game right, however, we can cause them problems and get the win as Itakura easily gets that in the middle. Pallison through to Schwartz to run forward. Here he goes on his run as that's round the corner into Bootler. We've got the striker in front of us. Just can't squeeze it through. With the amount of midfield that we've got in this team, we should be able to keep this ball a little bit more rather than just go for counters all the time as Holtman on a run down this side. He's going to whip a ball into the middle. It's a decent one. Tiao only towards Lasila on the edge. End-to-end stuff as Leuven gets it round the corner. Holtman, Itakura slides into block. Machdo. Luckily, it didn't hit his hand. But yeah, not the most eventful game this one as Zalazar again. He can deliver a deadly cross as that's a pass into Schwartz. Now into Bootler, who's got a bit of a gap for another goal. And he gets it. It's a goal from the striker who truly is on form. Him and Tony Schwartz are doing the business. The number 11 puts us 1-0 up away from home. Very nice indeed for us. It's a brilliant pass from Zalazar. And then Tony Schwartz gives it to the other player on form, opens his body up and just curls it round the goalkeeper into that far corner. Of course, there's a long way to go, but we lead 1-0. Not doing too bad at all to consider this team. I would say a relegation favourite with the players we have, as Maxto had to stop that. Goes straight into Freisel across the floor as Zalazar gets it rolled to him. And Tiao will try and build this forward a bit as Itakura forward into Latza. Now into Sanchez on the wing. Can we get a run from Chernilov through the middle? Just stopped. Build-up ain't bad from us, however, as hang on. How have we got this much space at the back as Leitch read us? That was an attacking opportunity as it's almost half-time. Rekibac with a pass onto Lasila. Now Leuven. Ref, just blow your whistle straight away, mate. Do us a favour. Try to get a tackle in. They tried to put the ball straight through the middle, but we'll get it away. As there we are. 45 minutes in, 1-0 up. Not too bad. Not too bad at all, as we'll definitely take this continuing. As Schwartz puts it onto Butler. Can we get an instant one in this second half as well? Salazar running down this wing, cuts back, goes towards the edge of the box into Latzler, now into Palsson. Swapping round, Butler gets it back, he's dropping further back. As Salazar puts a ball in, deflected and handled by the right back. I think it was Bockman. Get in there, a chance to go 2-0 up. And yeah, Bockhorn, should I say, who absolutely, I wouldn't say intentionally handles it, but of course did change the direction of the ball. Stuck his hands up as Chernilov has took the ball under his wing to try and bury this. Who has the best penalties? It's the captain, Latzler. We will put him on it for a chance to go 2-0 up. I'm going to go bottom right against this goalkeeper. And one glove on it from the keeper. It's a decent save and we remain just the 1 goal up. Do have a corner here though. That's disappointing. Tony Schwartz to deliver. Magsto with the header. Falls over. Just unlucky, I guess, as Nicolas Süle going to Man United. Big signing departing the Bundesliga. He went to Dortmund, didn't he, from Bayern Munich. What a transfer that is to happen, as they've still got the ball. There's a gap for them to play it through. Pantkovic putting a ball in, but that should be Freisel's as he opts to punch. Okay, we'll let him off with that one, as long as the corner doesn't lead to anything. And it definitely doesn't. We'll take it as Ladser with the ball across the field. Just need to retain this lead. We've got subs to make as well. I'm going to try and give Drexler his first appearance for Tony Schwartz. He was kicked out of the team, of course, because of Tony Schwartz's appearance, as that's a ball into the box from them. Magsto, not the greatest place to chest it, mate, as he just gets the clearance. Oh, my days. I mean, at least he did in the end. So we've got to pass off to Chernilov. Return that, please. There we go. Sanchez with a bit of a run through as he's away from his man. Dip that in. Looking to try and get it over the centre-back, but not worked as he wins his second header. And he's smashed to the ground. Chernilov through the gap into Latzler. Round the side. Butler. Could try and shoot, but I'm going to pass it into Tony Schwartz before he goes off. Deflected. Laszlo into Palsson. We do very well at retaining this ball as Anthony Sanchez is injured now. So Aydin to come on, taking no risks with injury. I do like my injury sliders up because it seems very realistic that players do get injured and you go through injury crises at some points in seasons. As Butler tries to return that to Salazar running down the line. Probably want to get him off as Pantkovic with a sweet turn right there to run at us. Thiaw trying to come across to try and block that one, but they've still got the ball. Bockhorn. Don't want them to punish us for the missed penalty. Zoller puts the ball through here onto Pantkovic, who's ran past Thiaw. A little bit too easy for my liking. Freisel rushing out, and it's easily tapped in from Holtman. How did the Fizz that ball so directly across net and then hit that first time? That's actually rather surprised me. Nevertheless, it's a decent finish, as yeah, he beat Thiaw a little bit too easily for my liking. The centre-back in demand making the error. And it was just there for him to tap in. Magsto not close enough to his man at the back post. Easy goal. 1-1. Captain will be beating himself up for missing the spot kickers. Now that's through to Butler. Still not off the field. Latzler. Aydin is down the wing. I see a man at the back post trying to cross it in early. And that was a terrible ball. Ryman to just sweep up. But it's off Butler. Zalazar into Chernilov forward. This is decent passing. Chernilov's got a bit of a gap. We'll use Aydin at this side. And Zalazar at the back post. Danilo again blocking that one as there is 2 added minutes. And they're going to try and go forward. Danilo will just have to sit back a little bit. Don't want to rush players forward as much as we possibly could. As Holtman goes out wide. They're still going to continue this attack. Rebechka through the middle. Zoller has stepped across. Gets his shot off. And Freisel, that's disappointing in goal. That is very disappointing. We're going to lose to Bochum away from home. Not great from us at all. That was a game that I just saw the win in the bag. And we're going to manage to lose it somehow. It's just, we ran straight past them with Itakura. The 3 at the back's not been great today. Not the formation, of course, the players. As Zoller was just allowed to release that one, and Fraser didn't get across in time. 2-1 defeat to Bochum. Not great from us. It's just 10 minutes at the end. We capitulated. 2-1 loss. We're still hurting from the buying games, it seems, as we've got a quick turnaround before Werder Bremen in the next episode tomorrow. We've got to be better. Yeah, not a good ending from us in that game. 12th position we're sitting in the league. Bochum flying up as we've got position changes from the youth players. As Loader just keeps on pestering me to play. He thinks he could do a better job than Tiao. I will make the decisions. He possibly plays. That's made him unhappy now. But I'm not being just tormented by players like that. And it was deemed not to be a serious injury from Anton Sanchez. So I might just simulate Werder Bremen, you know. Get the ball rolling with the game. So yeah, that's the only... oh no, it isn't actually. Load and Tarot are the changes that go in. Maxto a little bit tired, but we'll let it slide. I don't want to change the defence completely around, despite it not being too great in that last game. So the bench is similar. Pieringer over Chernlov, who didn't directly have an impact. As can we get a win against Werder Bremen? Insigne up front as... no, beaten at home to make it 3 defeats on the bounce. As Saleh, Bootler again with our goal, of course, and Wallace. But we're in a bit of a struggle. And what started off as a promising day against Wolfsburg, of course you can see right now they are below us, so there's the reason that we beat them. They're not having a good season, but after a promising start, we now have a game over everyone, and we are a place, of course, above where we don't really... okay, games in hand are being played, so we are just above the relegation zone, but it looks like there's some big hitters still down there. Union Berlin, I'm surprised in. Wolfsburg, of course, and Freiburg. It's not ended too well. With the games we've had as well, Bochum, Werder Bremen, teams that have recently been promoted in the last couple of years, not too great. And Leipzig next episode, Freiburg, Frankfurt, Mönchengladbach if we get onto it, and Bayern Munich. So, wouldn't say I'm worried, but I'm starting to get a little bit shaky, if you know what I mean. As, I don't really like it. But the only way is up. As thank you guys for watching this episode right here. Don't forget, of course, to like, comment, share, and subscribe with the notification bell turned on down below. And again, thank you all for watching. It's been my pleasure. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. And I will see you all in the next one, which is every single day. So tomorrow. Take care, in a bit, and peace.